Okay, so let's start it. You know the saying, you should be your best. I would say, if you be the best. Is being top 10% of your class is good enough for you? No. It's requires something you gotta get after it, and then you will start producing good results, and then you will boost confidence along the way. Because to chase, here are 10 study techniques that I've swear as medical students to help me get into medicines, and I use this on daily basis. Half them focus on the actual study techniques, and the other half focus on same mentality, which is just as important. Let's start with the first one. First, you study from the testable core materials outwards. So let's say the box represents all information that is presented to you. You start in the middle, it is a testable material. Someone who doesn't know how to study will go from top to bottom, covering every single detail. And when the exam time comes, they haven't covered like 20 to 30% of what is testable. Whereas someone who knows how to study will start in the middle, study from the core materials, they testable and then study outwards. Then exam time comes, although they haven't studied everything. They study what is important and what is testable. I don't want to be best as possible. I want to be best doctor as possible. So when studying, we have this tendency to try to learn everything. But we have to make this mindset shift from focusing on those long-term goals to short-term goals. And those short-term goals, when you're talking courses, is to pass and get good grades in every midterm and every exam candidate presented before. Then those long-term goals will take care of themselves. Shall you do know testable or not? There's two ways of figuring that out. First is to look for practice tests or previous tests. Sometimes the lecturers give you a couple of questions at the end of the lecture to go over on. Pay attention to those. They also looked online in undergrad to figure out if there are any practice tests lying around. And I asked seniors if they taken the course and if they had any parts, etc. And I asked my friend who was the taking course, you gotta use your resources to figure out if there are any additional study materials you can use. You have to think like examiner, not learners. When you are going over material, always imagine in your mind, how can I test this in multiple choice of math? How can I test this in a short answer of math? And then try to learn that way. Number two on the list is to write good courses notes and then plan out your timing for all midterms and all your exams and then constantly evaluate and your things so that you're not falling behind. So example, let's just say you're taking the 5 courses and before midterm you have over 10 lectures per courses and then each lecture has 50 slides and total up to 2500 slides you have to go over before the midterm. So you have to write down your courses note that summarizes everything that makes it manageable for you to go over materials before you write the midterm so that you're not overloaded. General notes as much as possible to contain keywords and important information. You know that if you don't remember something from your note, you have the PowerPoint slides you can always fall back on. Number three on the list is to use active recorded learning. I made a video on this recently that you can watch, but let me expand on that video here. Let's start off by giving you examples of students who don't know how to study. They will be presented with information like mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell. Without thinking, they just write. Nothing coming to the brain. So what I do when I'm going over my notes is when I read the information, I only read the keywords. And then as opposed to looking at my notes and look at my keyword, for example, where mitochondria. And I want you to think mitochondria is part of powerhouse of the cell. Why is the powerhouse of a cell? And I try to supplement information for the lecture is power of a cell because it produces ATP. So I'm using all of my senses writing down which is my tactical motion. I'm saying things out which is verbal. I'm looking at my notes. Reverse I'm using my visual cues. And I'm saying I'm listening. I'm using also my authority from the senses. And most often when you're actively recalling, you cannot remember all the information. That's okay because studies have shown that just by the recall, you are creating the connection between the information and your memory. Number four, I cannot emphasize that enough reviewing. It's just as important as learning new information. So if after the lectures to go over before midterms, for example, I'm supposed to go 1 to 20 and when I go back to 1 to 20, when I do it, I go to 1 to 5 and then I review 1 to 5 quickly and then I move on to 6 to 10. And then once I'm done 6 to 10, I will molecularly and go over 1 to 5 and then I look over 6 to 10, and then I go into 10, 11 to 15. At least you have time to do this correctly before midterm so that you actually cover everything. Number five is more on the mentality thing. You have to study harder for your midterms than your final exams. You're gonna obviously learn hard for your final exam, but you have to study harder for your midterms because that sets the tone for the entire course. Let's say you get a bad mark on midterms, and then entire course is just a catch-up game. You worry the whole time, probably 2 3 months, worry about whether you're going to get good enough final marks so that can make up for getting a bad mark on your midterms. Number six, having a strong mindset to our school year. I'm gonna come across the little harsh here, but you know the saying, you have to try your best. I would say, believe that you're gonna be your best. Is your best really the top 20% of your class? Is your best top 5% of your class? If the program you want to get into is and has less than 10% of acceptance rate, is within top 20% of your class good enough for you? No. So if you want something, you gotta get after it, and you start losing good results, and then you lose confidence along the way. Number seven is putting the work in and outworking everyone, which is kind of quantitative within this video because it is a study technique video. But compared to study someone who knows these study techniques but doesn't work hard, someone who doesn't know any of these techniques and they just putting the hours into the and getting the information into the brain is always going to be the better person with better study techniques. I wasn't the project person in my class, so what I do this was I just literally outworked everyone. How do I do that? I walked into a library before everyone else, and I walked out of the library after everyone else. I spent my time staying on Friday night, Saturday night when everyone was going out partying, and there was, one of the students that was living in the library at the same time that night, and he's now career student at you. So things like that happen. So you just have to outwork everyone if you really want to be successful. Number eight is getting a serious study partner and friend who wanted as you. You think it can be hard to find them? Well, you start studying late nights and the library all the time. You tend to come across these guys. It's hard to come in early in the morning and leaving late at night. Coming in on weekends, but in the undergrad, I had a group of friends who I really studied with and then didn't really disturb each other. When we was time to study, we did study, we did interrupt each other. And what it was taken care of, we went out and had fun. Number nine is staying consistent and staying self-orienting, especially in medicine where like million things going on. If it's difficult to lose track of things and get super shit, so you have to be on top of every email, have to be on top of every assessments and or work they have to do. And then the grade dealing with five courses plus your extracurriculars and everything going on. Saturday is the top thing, so got anything from way behind and go straight. Let me give you an example of consistency and why it's so important. Saturday should be, Sunday is working Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, 0 hour each. Shouldn't be designed to work on Friday, but still designed to take Saturday and Sunday off. They should have fallen behind Sunday by 24 hours. So no matter how hard you try, there's like Monday study for 40 hours, as almost 2 hours, today studying 16 hours. Like guys always playing catch up to Sunday, and when you're on the curve in university and correct, you're just going to be able to compete against student A. Number 10 is completely controlling your anxiety and your worry when you're going through school. There are two types of warriors. When you who doesn't study or is worried about studying, it doesn't is that simple. To that simple, just you have to study. Number two, this kind of type of warrior is someone who worries sleeps by having done all the studies. And when you're in position, then you need to write down that you are worried about. So on a notebook, on a iPad or whatever, that you're worrying because you are not seeing what you're worried about. So divide halfway in the middle, write out what you can control and what you cannot control. Something like you can control is waking up early, going to the library, studying for X amount of hours, and staying focused when studying. What you cannot control is the actual grades and going to get you from this course. So don't worry. I'm gonna get B. I'm gonna get B plus. I'm gonna get A minus, A plus. You cannot control that. Just focus on what you can control and just have to give up on what you cannot control. Okay, so that's a pretty good video for me to practice my speaking skill. And I think that this is the end of my video today because I have I have to speak slowly. I think that is pretty much for my speaking video today. I think that I'm gonna go downstairs because today I've done the YouTube video so early that it's just spent around 2 hours on doing it. Actually, in normally I usually spend more than 8 hours. Just editing the video, make it be better, good. It's gonna be more than 8 hours, but now it 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 it, it is just around 2 hours, so I have time. Maybe at the end of this course, after I finish the CBT for the English, actually I do care about the CBT for the computer class, but not as much as the English course because it is really hard for me to focus on and to go on. And so you know what? And then I'm gonna finish this my English CBT presentation about the poem as fast as I can, as fast as I can, as fast as I can, in order to have more time to working with the computers CBT. And then when I'm done all of them, it's gonna have actually I'm gonna have like 2 or 3 days before, maybe 5 days before the end of course, and I just go there, sit there and relax or some stuff like that. So when I have time, and I just go on it. So I'm gonna have pretty much time for me to spend on that, and I'm gonna use a lot of stuff on it. So it's a really good stuff and things for me to improve myself. And for I don't have time, right? So I'm gonna use that time when I'm free to make video all the day, just video, and then video again and again, in order to have the large amount of video to post on my YouTube channel, in order to write to grow my YouTube channel. So it's a very good idea for me. But okay, so this is the end of my video. So I'm gonna just try my best. Okay, bye.